Hi, welcome to Grief and Hope Support Groups. Good grief, we're on session 6, also titled Good Grief. What does that even mean? I know it's just an expression, but I can't help but think, no, grief's not good. But there is a good part though. It's just for a season. It won't last forever. In Ecclesiastes 3, the author, likely King Solomon, wrote, "There is a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens. A time to be born and a time to die. A time to plant and a time to uproot. A time to kill and a time to heal. A time to tear down and a time to build. A time to weep and a time to laugh. A time to mourn and a time to dance. A time to scatter stones and a time to gather them. A time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing. A time to search and a time to give up. A time to keep and a time to throw away. A time to tear and a time to mend. A time to be silent and a time to speak. A time to love and a time to hate. A time for war and a time for peace." Now, did you catch verse 4? A time to weep and a time to laugh. A time to mourn and a time to dance. There is a time to weep and mourn, but a time to laugh and dance is coming. So, are you feeling any different now? Are you able to deal with the frustrations and emotions, or are you still struggling? If you are still struggling, take a look at the burden you are trying to carry. Are you trying to carry too much on your own? Don't carry it alone. Continue to work on letting Christ bear the brunt of the weight. Imagine with me that you are holding out a glass of water kind of straight out in front of you like this. Now, a glass of water doesn't really weigh very much, so you don't even think about how heavy it could become. But after holding it out in front of you for a while, you might begin to think about that weight more. It's actually the amount of time that passes that makes the glass of water begin to feel rather heavy. The more you hold it, the heavier it feels. After a while, it becomes too much to bear. Now, think about the pain you are carrying. It isn't too heavy if you hold it for a few minutes, but if you carry it around with you all day, every day, it becomes too much to bear. Eventually, it makes it difficult to think about or to do anything else. Hand that over to Christ to carry. He is still the key to success. He is still with you, and He is how you manage all this hard stuff. A couple weeks ago, we talked about the need to let go or set aside some of the things while you are working on digging into your grief. Sometimes you can let go of something permanently, but often there are things that you can let go of for a little while and then they simply need to be dealt with. This can be overwhelming if they pile up on you. So when you are ready to face some of the normal tasks of life, prioritize them so that they aren't too much for you. Page 64 through 65 will provide a space for prioritizing. Don't forget to ask for help when needed. If you're still overwhelmed, ask your leader or counselor for additional resources to help you. You've come so far. Don't give up now. Quit simply grasping the hope and grab a hold of it. Grab it hard. We will have loss and grief in our lives. We may lose people that we love sooner than later. But when we appreciate the time we had with them and consider how they impacted us, it's kind of beautiful. And just because they are gone doesn't mean they aren't a part of our lives anymore. Let's turn your story around. I know you still grieve your loss, and you always will. But it doesn't always have to hurt so much. You've got this. And if no one has told you this yet, you are doing just fine. Remember, we are not looking for perfection, just progress. If you have made some forward progress, you are rocking this grief journey. Remember not to compare yourself to anyone else. This is your grief and your journey, your life, and it's at your speed. But it's also your testimony, your triumph, and your success. 1 John 5, verse 5 says, "Who is he who overcomes the world, but he who believes that Jesus is the Son of God?" You're an overcomer, and I'm proud of you.